Madness Podcast! The best of the underground! Make madness your ritual!
Holy smokes. What is going down? I can't believe that I'm actually doing this right now. It's been a little bit. I hope you guys are having a good Friday. Do me a favor, check out the Lowbrow Saints Tattoo Collective over there in Minneapolis. Lowbrow Saints, let me see here, 612-353-4755. Hit them up at lowbrowsaints@gmail.com. Go give them some love. Jason and the folks over there. Fantastic tattoo shop, and I really appreciate them. Thank you for joining us if you are. I appreciate you as well. I am in the house here. That first song that we did was a band called Evernorth, and they are playing a show tomorrow night, Saturday, February 24th, 2024, at the Amsterdam Bar and Hall, downtown St. Paul. 10 in advance, 15 at the door. Doors are at 6 p.m. Show is at 7 p.m. I got the flyer up here. That is Evernorth. I don't know how to say this, Xaeto. I don't know how to say that. How do you say that? You guys know how to say that? Exido, okay. Exido, Corsair, Fatal Fall, and Druid are all on the bill. Again, that's tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Doors are at 6. Show is at 7. I really like that stuff. That is off of their. That was the title track of their new EP 2024 release. Burn the Forest, burn the forest from Evernorth.
Nice.
So thanks to those guys because they've been super patient. If you guys don't know or haven't heard or whatever, if you're watching this at now or later, I hurt myself on the job, hurt my back in June. So I've kind of been out of the podcast thing from sitting here for extended periods of time.
June 2023.
Yeah, 2023. Yeah, and I just haven't done any podcasts. And Artemis has a knack of pulling me back in and.
How about that? Isn't that wonderful? I love that I'm some sort of creative catalyst for you.
You have been for years. That's the thing. And
I'm so honored.
And in the description, I explain that a little bit as well. The reason we're here is because Artemis was selected just recently by what is called the 1106.
Yeah. So
Artesian Forge.
It was called Artesian Forge. That was the name of this location in Eau Claire. Just randomly stopped by there to see if they took other people's art in, and was selected as Artist of the Month for March 2024. So, first time ever getting that kind of honor. First time having kind of this flashy gallery show. So
what an amazing gallery, too.
It is. Not mine, but the Artesian Forge location is just a nexus of all sorts of really cool artists. Beyond my talent, beyond any of our talent here. I mean, these are people that are at the top of their game. Not to diminish us.
Now, I wouldn't say that, really, honestly, because when we rolled up, I mean, we took a trip down there last weekend, and just to go get the lay of the land and see how everything was, and get a real idea of how you wanted to lay some of your artwork out in the whole thing, and. Just pulling up, you see these massive sculptures all around the whole place, big murals on the walls, from different artists. I was blown away. It was, now I saw a building very similar to that in Colorado, and they just had, there's like one whole district in Colorado that was like nothing but art, murals everywhere. It was amazing. Walking inside the place, and the curator, I don't remember her name.
Trillium. Okay. We'll talk about her.
She was amazing.
Yeah.
Had stories on every single artist in the whole place.
Yep.
I was really blown away. Now you just kind of walked in the place and
so the history of my connection with Eau Claire mostly is around my brother who lives there and has lived there for like 20 years. But in 2019,
shout out to your brother.
Shout out to my brother Ryan. Love you, brother. But my father passed away at the Mayo Clinic in Eau Claire in 2019. And my mom ended up moving there, and it's sort of been, I don't want to say like a spiritual anchor, but over the last 5 years, I've returned to Eau Claire a lot. And just as out of a whim, my mom recommended we go there for lunch because she heard about the place and wanted me to check it out. And I'm not in Eau Claire very often. So let's, I'm a Twin Cities guy.
Sure.
Going out, I'm a, Wisconsin born and bred. Eau Claire was one of those places that it just once we got to the 1106, it was amazing. Like in 2019, if you know my history, I really wanted to become a welding artist, and this place was saying to me, the huge sculptures, the big art, the big expression. I hadn't, I've been here in the Twin Cities, 25 years now. I haven't encountered something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't know why that is. Maybe I just haven't got out enough. But have some place that's so like connected from wood duck artists to graffiti artists to welding artists to chocolate artists to coffee artists to acrylic artists. It's just like you said, blew us away. It blew me away when I first saw it. I just inquired at the desk if they took other art in because I just wanted to, throw a piece up. But it turned out that I ended up being Artist of the Month, and I have a big gallery show and all sorts of wonderfulness. So we'll get into that.
Now the the area that you're doing it in too is like smack dab in the middle of it. You know, you walk into that big area, and there's artists. It's hard to explain it without anyone being, you know, like
True.
Visually you can't even. I find it really hard to put it together because you walk in and there's just art everywhere, and I absolutely was in love with so much stuff. I was like, Jesus, you know.
Yeah.
And we looked at one piece at the very end, and we talked about this multiple times on the way back as well. It was like so big that I was only like, you know, 8 by 10 pieces of this huge wall piece that I could only like put my mind around. I was like, holy shit. And then stepping back and looking at it, it was like, it's like I just couldn't digest it all in one sitting, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's what I love to do with my art is maybe even more than have a creative concept. It's a use and integration of color in different ways.
Right.
Or texture. The thing about my art is aiming for a texture more than maybe even a concept. So sometimes, you know, I think when we were looking at that huge picture, there was so much texture and so many colors. Just the strokes were amazing.
Right.
I mean, it was an expensive piece. We're looking at something that was like $6,000-$7,000 off the wall.
It was massive,
and massive, but it was so colorful and so amazing. You could just see the experience and the talent in each keystroke. You know, that's the kind of place that I want to be, and you know, I'm honored, deeply, deeply honored to just be a part of.
Right.
So, you know, I hope people make a trip out there. Eau Claire's not that far.
Now, so we're coming up on the end of the month, and now I know the story that you're going to be heading out there in the very beginning of the month and bringing some of the pieces, not all of the pieces that for the showing, but you are going to be putting select pieces out there just before. Now you'll be there from what, the 2nd?
So yeah, I think I've changed a little bit since you know, we talked. Given that there's so much space, I probably would put out 90% of the pieces. I had reserved about 5 pieces that I wanted to put in for 2024. Okay. And but still, I'm bringing in like 45 pieces and filling a, you know, it's the biggest gallery that I show up I've had. You know, that's only a fraction. I probably have over 500 pieces of art now.
Right.
So this little show, this little slice, takes a very focused look at some style and content of my pieces, where I have other stuff that's ducks and, you know, sunsets and nature and zen, and this is wild, this is crazy, this is along a, you know, kind of a strange alien theme. So
well, and that is that's the theme of the show that you're doing, and for you folks that so you're going to be there in the beginning of March through the whole month. But the show is actually on Saturday, March 24th, correct?
Yeah, so that's Saturday, March 23rd.
23rd, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, all good.
I got it on the screen so they could see it.
Yeah, right.
Don't
we got
give me
it.
That one job look, mother. Oh man.
If you're if you're in my orbit, this is going to be the theme probably for both of us for the next few weeks. You're going to see a lot about this. So if we say the date wrong once,
yeah, you know, it's on the screen, so that they know that I'm prone to making mistakes. Especially after not doing a podcast for so long, so but just bear with me here. But I've got the picture up here now. I don't believe this has a time frame on it. What time are you going to be doing your show from?
Sure. So I think the schedule for the 23rd is still a little bit to be determined. You know, we talked about all sorts of stuff. I want to do a podcast that day from Artesian Forge. Maybe some local. You know, talk to some of the artists there and have sort of another art show from there that, you know, something different hosted by both of us kind of thing. And then there's going to be a reception, and we're going to have me talking about the gallery show. So, you know, I think the time of the show is going to be maybe from 5 to 10, you know, maybe the podcast in the afternoons kind of thing. That's still to be determined. So the 23rd is like, if you're going to pick a day to come visit and party with us, that's the day to pick. But the gallery is going to be there throughout the month of March in observation of that, you know, Arts of the Month.
Sweet.
For the 1106 venue.
That's fantastic.
Gosh, man. I am beyond honored. I mean, you know, this isn't something I do as a practice. It isn't something to do. I make that I make much money off of, but it's a passion. And you two can totally relate to that. The passion that we are as artists, have.
And cats like us have multiple facets of being creative. You know what I mean? Like it's just, it's all over the place, And
are we going to talk tie-dyes here?
We definitely can. I mean, that was something. That was something.
We need to put your tie-dyes in that venue.
I mean, I would love to, and I don't see why I shouldn't. I mean, the lady was very open to the idea, so I definitely will bring some with me and see where it goes. And I'm like, I want to make it so we all make money. You know what I mean? I guess the money isn't always the main thing for me. I would love to run into someone and go, I think I did that one, because I don't have tags on my stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's just, I've looked into it and haven't getting the iron-on tags and whatnot, and it's probably a great idea. But I would love to do that.
Create your own little brand, sort of like what I did with Artemis Sere, and it's 17 years now, and it's in search engine and all that stuff. And I fully believe that if you created some sort of side brand for yourself with the tie-dyes, you would rock it, because you have such talent, and it's all about building your own brand. Nobody does what I do. Nobody will do what you do.
Sure.
It's all unique to you.
Right.
There are people that do similar art, sure.
Right.
But it's all you, and it's about getting that audience and that support of your brand.
Now this has to be like got to be one of the largest, if not the largest, art showing you've done, right? Because you've done.
That's what
Okay.
This is the biggest, certainly the biggest show that I've had. So, do we want to say hi to Jordan here? I mean, I don't want to take all the airtime.
No.
That's what
I can come back to talking about pieces and great stuff.
Jordan Swanson, how you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty well.
It's been a long time, man.
I'm so honored to sit next to this dude. He was part of this show and some of the first ones that I did here, and I haven't seen him in years.
We started this madness together, man. I mean, if you don't know, Jordan and I started this in 2012, and and it was really a project for you for the most part, really. I mean, we were doing some classes and needed something like this, and we started it, and it just never. I mean, I just jumped face first into it, and you went on to do other things and focus on the band stuff and continue to be creative as well. I mean, you're playing guitars and basses and drums and fucking, dude, you've done so much shit since the last time you've been on here as well, man. I mean,
I'm trying to remember when the last time I was on was, and it's been several years.
Yep. I know, and I know we've talked about doing podcasts and just coming on and shooting the shit. You know what I mean? So it's good. I get to see Jordan every single day. I mean,
yay!
I know. I was just saying it to Artemis too. I was like, I know I'm a handful sometimes. I just know that I am. Like go on to these tangents.
You and Tannic.
Yeah. It's puns and just full on, short bus.
Window licking and all.
Yep, for sure. Or we're talking about bananas and the flavor of banana, Dude, it's good to have you here, man.
It's good to be here.
Good to hang and everything, man. I mean, it's been a long time. So what are you doing these days? I mean, you got a few bands, you got some stuff going on. I know everything that's going on, but since we haven't had you on here for a while,
I haven't seen you in years, so I'd love to be caught up.
Yeah, I'm playing in a couple bands. Courier, a new band I started with some friends, or my friends started, and I helped grow. We're got 2 songs out. We're working on a full-length album. We're looking for a drummer right now. So
how can they get a hold of you? If anybody's a drummer and thinks they got the chops, man, hit Jordan up.
Yeah, hit us up on our Facebook. It's Courier Official.
Like Courier, like the...
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the driving courier. Otherwise, it's bandcamp.courierofficialmn, I believe, .com or .bandcamp.com, whatever it is. We got our 2 songs up on there for free. You can message us on there if you want to.
How would you describe Courier style?
It's personally for me, it's a little different than what I've done in the past.
Different how?
It's not, balls out, heavy, hard. It's like a melodic metalcore. Like imagine like Norma Jean meets like Old In Flames or something.
Oh yeah, I could see that. I got a lot of Deftones out of it when I listened to a couple of the tunes. I really felt that mix in there too.
Deftones is definitely a big influence on what we're doing. That's where some more of the like melody and just kind of musical aspects of it, where it doesn't have to be the fastest thing to be heavy. It
Yeah,
can be
I agree with you.
heavy
100%.
emotionally, just in the feel of things.
Yeah.
We had our first show back in September at the Skyway, and a lot of folks actually came up to me afterwards and said that they were expecting something like heavier, faster.
Sure.
It's just got a lot of groove, some atmosphere, some melodic tones,
And you're doing bass in that band as
yeah,
well, right?
I'm playing bass in that band.
But you do also play drums, correct?
I do.
You have any projects that you're doing drums in right now?
Yeah.
Anything you want to talk about or not really?
The band hasn't said anything yet.
Okay. Don't ruin it.
There's a few folks that know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've just been jamming with these guys for a few months now.
And I could just say that they're very, very prominent in the scene and a really, really good band. And their last release was fucking absolutely amazing. And it's just great to hear that I know how much of a passion it is for you to play drums as well, as much as the bass, if not more. I've seen you, be more passionate about the drum stuff. I know you love both of them, so you're just a rhythm section. You know what I mean? So it's like it's great to hear that you're jamming with some good cats and longtime members of the music scene here in the Twin Cities, and I know it's going to be fucking awesome. So
Bunch of folks that I've known forever.
Yeah.
And many of us in the band have discussed jamming at one point in time. And
sure,
now we're doing it. So
yeah. That's good, man. So keep your ears and eyes open. I'm sure you'll get many updates from here. Adam D has joined us on the chat here. Forgive me for interrupting. Congratulations, Mr. Artemis. That's fantastic. Welcome back, Mr. Greg. Thank you, Adam. Oh, you answered him. Artemis said thank you. Look at that. And then he said he played with Courier at Studio B. And Mr. Jordan, you guys were dope, he said. And you're welcome, Mr. Artemis, is what he said. Thank you for joining us, Adam. I really appreciate
Adam, thank you.
dude. Adam is always a guy that jumps in on the chats and keeps up with us and just a solid dude. Also plays in the band Wolf Mask. So
check that out.
Make sure you check those guys out. They have a bunch of shows coming up here real soon. Do me a favor, go to the Facebook page, Ritual Madness Podcast on Facebook. You can see all of the upcoming shows. And I'm adding stuff to it every day, or just recently anyways, because, it's been a minute.
Keeping up with it is tiring too. It's a lot of work. You put out a lot of content. You are kind of a hub for any information around music.
I kind of go, I go through these surges, what I
Yeah.
mean, where I'll be solid for a year and then I hurt myself. So physically I just wasn't feeling like being nice. I was just like, fuck everything. I don't really care what your show is. You know what I mean? Like
I've had quite a few phases of that over the last few years too. I can totally relate.
When you're hurting physically, it's just hard to keep your,
Yep.
and trying to be professional without being a dick. You know what I mean? It really is, man. And and you know this too, man. When you're struggling, you hurt yourself physically, and then you don't know the future of what's going on.
Right.
You get laid off, or you're looking for a new job. I could go through a whole story of finding a job and having a desk job, and then being moved to another basically division of the same conglomerate of companies. The leaving of one job wasn't very good, and I don't want to talk shit because it's friends that I care about. but being able to land on my feet and be around one of my buds is that much better to wake up and go to work every day. You know what I mean? Him and his fiance are cool people to work with, and Tanik's all right.
I just want to say, I hope the new season of Ritual Madness podcast here does involve you two at this more often.
Oh yeah,
I hope that's the goal here, because you being part of here just feels right. It feels like old school right.
Yeah.
So you like this interplay. You're always a great host. I love you,
Thanks,
my
man.
friend.
Thanks.
This is what you do so well, and I think just the interplay of you two, it's a
man.
great chemistry.
Thank you.
We definitely have talked about it, and I believe Jordan wants to come and hang out for some podcasts.
Oh,
and
I hope so.
I told him
that's the plan.
I didn't want to bend his arm. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it is if you get in the rhythm, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's how it is for me. Like, once I hit a stride, or you know what I mean? Like, I really loved working with Jordan, because Jordan was he was tapped into the same thing I was.
Yep.
And sometimes I would miss something, and he'd go, dude, have you heard about this? Have you heard this? And when we had more music to the podcast too, unfortunately, and I'll break it all down. I basically let my website go. ritualmadnesspodcast.com is no longer mine. And if you want to buy it and do whatever you want with it and make it look stupid, I don't give a shit. But I let the website go. I just didn't want to maintain it, and money wise, I was just like, I'm wasting my time. I did hit a few people hit me up about me. Something changed in the algorithm of iTunes to where it wasn't reading my RSS feed. So I was getting, anytime I'd put something up, it would go directly from my hosting site to my website, and then I would have to share it on Facebook or whatever social media I was using. But I had people going, you're not on iTunes anymore, just the audio. And I know that a lot of people, and that's what you do with podcasts, is you listen to it on the go and whatnot. But I really like to sit down, and if you have time to watch the show, or if you want to check us out on, you know what I mean? Like, featuring a band like Evernorth. I promised to do a show with those guys before I hurt myself, and we had one booked. I had several podcasts booked, and I just physically couldn't do it. So opening the show with their music made me feel like I was at least helping, doing what I was supposed to do. Jordan being in the mix of it, he knows a lot of bands as well as I do. So it's great to maybe I missed a band. Maybe I'm not giving the love to somebody, and Jordan says, hey dude, we should have these guys on.
It's a beautiful synergy, because, doing it all by yourself, it's a challenge. I mean, pulling together a show on a regular basis, all the content is, it's a challenge.
Yeah.
And you can split the load, you can interplay, have questions.
Yeah.
To your point, he's knowledgeable about the industry and local
Yeah,
music. So like, it's perfect. It's perfect. I'm glad you're back.
The insight on a lot of things. You know what I mean? He's a musician. He plays. He knows what's up. He's been around. He listens. He's knowledgeable about a lot of different things that I just don't. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like, he likes Star Wars. I mean, that's what did you just buy? You just bought a helmet, didn't you?
Yeah, I bought a Black Series Kylo Ren helmet.
Thing looks awesome too, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. I've been wanting one of those
Have
for
you
a while.
put it on and ran up on Marion go with your lightsaber? Never mind. I'm gonna stop before I get myself into trouble. She carries this really big mug, and he got a bloody nose the other day, and I was like, she got him with the mug, and I was like, did you have a dent in your mug? And she's like, nope, slid right off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just funny.
That's so cute.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. Now you have a list of stuff we can touch on, right?
Well, I mean, we can talk about that same challenge I've had with the job hunt. It's been frustrating for me, like you. I was laid off from my job in September of last year, so it's been a road for me, and it's been a real kind of frustrating experience on the professional side.
Yeah.
Because I've worked for some really, really strong companies. I think I got a strong resume, and jumped back into the pool, and you know, I think I've applied for 100 jobs, over 100 jobs, and maybe have a 5 to 10% response rate.
I figured that would be more open since COVID and
Yeah, you're
what
right.
I mean?
You know,
Like,
you think the whole model is a lot more remote capable now. I think so. It's changed permanently how people are approaching work because you know jobs locally are really sort of people from all over the world are in competition for them.
right.
Because of the remote work capabilities.
Right.
Some companies are moving back to sort of a hybrid thing where,
Yeah.
you know, they want to have you in the office for part of the time. And I'm fine with that. I spent the last couple of years dealing with that and riding the green line down to downtown Minneapolis. That was a cultural
how fun
fucking
was that?
experience.
Yeah.
Holy fuck, man.
Yeah?
What a mess that is.
Tell me some experiences. How'd that go?
gosh.
So you're taking the green line.
Yeah, so if anyone knows the Twin Cities well, the Green Line is the light rail train that goes from downtown St. Paul to downtown Minneapolis. I was taking that 2 days, 3 days a week, twice a day, and let's just say a lot of bums, a lot of drugs, a lot of unhinged, and
What kind of bums? Really smelly, dirty ones?
I took pictures of them and shared them.
Yeah?
on Instagram. Yeah, we're talking dirty, smelly bums. We're talking drooling, like people that slept on the train overnight kind of bums. Yeah, I mean, I read recently that Metro Transit, I think, is they're starting to send their senior staff on the trains to get the real experience of how bad it is.
Yeah. Hopefully they get robbed.
Hey, it's happened. I mean, I know that someone was shot and killed just in the last month.
Damn.
Shot fucking in the head, something like that. It is really unsafe. There were many times where there were fights on the train when I was on it.
Yeah.
There were people that approached me to, you know, for different things.
Yeah.
I had a mug stolen. You know, it's like all sorts of shit. It's just sad to see that kind of state of society.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, and it's sad that you know the local government and authorities won't do anything.
yeah.
It's like I've seen a lot of different articles and stuff that say that it's just rampant on the light rail because no one's preventing it. They're not
Right.
Well, so that's kind of, I mean, they are. So police would walk through when I was on there and ask for my, my pass or whatever. They would do some cleanup of people that were on there, and they would ask for tickets and push people off if they didn't have them. But by and large, I got to give the police a little bit of leeway because you ride that train, you see some people that really are desperate and need.
Oh yeah.
No
doubt.
fuck with them because they just need to sleep, But there are other people, when the train is moving and they're just like, they've got their shopping cart and they're screaming at the top of their lungs and their boombox is blaring and they're just talking to nobody, I don't know how you prevent shit like that. It's almost like it's in the culture now. And maybe a stronger police presence would change it, but it's like checking tickets. You can't do that for everybody. It would slow down the process of the train.
In Minneapolis, it's such a touchy subject as well. You know what I mean? With
especially with the George Floyd stuff.
Just the police presence and you know what I mean, and they feel attacked. You know what I mean? They feel like they're trying to do their job, which it can't be a fucking easy job. And I know that they're not the nicest people in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? And I think we all suffer all the way around. You know what I mean? Like it's tough to see.
Yeah.
Like you want to have more police presence in certain situations, right?
Right.
Just to keep the populace safe.
Yeah.
For the most part, I air quote that because you're going to have overzealous people that maybe have been worked too hard. Maybe they have a shitty attitude and just hate their fucking job and they don't make enough money, or you know what I mean. They have to deal with the same idiots all the time. You know what I mean? And that's not an excuse to be shitty to people, obviously, but
right.
They've that the whole Minneapolis police force has just been
They've been under a lot of scrutiny.
Yeah.
For good reasons. But it's difficult because how do you fix this?
Yeah.
You know, more police presence only brings out, I think, more of the seedier elements, you know, people wanting to resist. So it's almost like riding the train, it just felt like just a basic lack of like decency and respect. Where did that go? Like where we have ownership for that.
Yeah.
Where, you know, it's up to us to be respectful. I didn't feel that riding the train, you know, like that.
I don't feel that in regular society.
Well, that too.
And, I mean, even, you know, even driving. I mean, everything's changed.
Honestly, between COVID just throwing everything for a loop and then such divisive politics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, you know, human decency and by and large has gone out the window because no one's facing any really real repercussions.
Yeah.
You know, there's a few that get, you know, made, you know, poster child for things, you know,
Sure.
you know, but mostly just no one's doing anything to stop it. And everyone's just, all the media that we consume is so divisive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it just
Back and fucking forth, man. It's
folks
so
upset
sad, dude.
about stuff that doesn't impact their life whatsoever, and then they just kind of hold on to that. It seems that resentment or
I think that's part of it. Like, how do people get more resilient and just like let things go and really fight for what matters, and you know, be more respectful in the battle of this all. You know, that's what to me has been lost, and I don't know how that will come back. So like riding the light rail was a cultural experience that I think anybody should have. You want to know what it's like to live in the city? That's your gutter rail right there.
Well, I mean, you know, I think it is. You're right, man. I think people do need to experience that situation.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Life is not all fucking peaches and cream, man. You know what I mean?
Like, can't live on the suburbs.
No, you can't.
And understand what's
can't,
going on in the
city. You can't shit on the city as well, though. You know what I mean? Like the people that shit on the city haven't been in the fucking city since COVID.
Right.
You know what I mean? They think it has fallen. You know what I'm saying? And
I don't know how many times since all that shit went down that I've been downtown for shows or events or just going out to, you know, eat or whatever.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you,
There's
when I worked down there, I would work, you know, normal hours. And during that time, it felt fine.
Right.
When I would stick around for shows and walking on Hennepin.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes it just,
there's certain, you know, corners that,
right.
you know, but you'll get that in any major
Shit, that's
city.
been like that since the 70s,
Right,
dude. You know what I'm saying?
When I've
Like,
been down there for shows and for different events, I've never personally experienced a problem.
right.
You know, if you're minding yourself, you know, they'll tend to just not pay you any money.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and you know, let's be honest. You got to keep your head on a swivel at all times. Anyway, in this world, period. It's not just Minneapolis; it's fucking everywhere. You know what I mean?
Right.
People are out there wanting to take what's yours, and you know what I mean. Like, either you. I just had a friend of mine who was just, you know, robbed at gunpoint. You know, and it traumatized her, man. She's shook. You know what I mean? She's gone back to work since, but just seeing her post on Facebook about it, and you just feel for her, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's a traumatic situation.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I remember being young and being, you know, robbed at gunpoint. It's not a fucking good thing, and it doesn't go away overnight, man. It's a fucking scary situation. I mean, it is so. I think I appreciated more. I appreciated it and thought how crazy it really was years and years later after I started shooting guns. You know what I mean? Like, it is really just, you know, a twitch of the finger, man. You know, and you know, your temper flares. You know, your shit can happen so damn fast, man. You know, and if you don't have your wits about you, shit can go wrong real fucking quick. You know, I've been lucky being a big guy, but still, man, people see you, and that's just the way it is, man.
Yeah.
You know, perfect example. I'm in Maple Grove, Dayton area, on my way to work. I go into Quick Trip to get my breakfast in the morning, cup of coffee, and I see a guy walking, following somebody else, and he's got droopy pants and floppy hat, and he looks over and I got my eyes to the ground. I'm not fucking paying attention to anybody. I'm going to get my coffee and I'm going to fucking work. That's it. You know what I mean? And I look up and I make eye contact with the dude, and he gives me the head nod. And I just looked at him and went, whatever. Soon as we got into the door, he stopped and was like, "What's up?" And I go, "What's up? What the fuck do you want?" I didn't say that, but I'm like, "What's up?" And he's like, "What you up to?" And I just looked at him like, I just go, "Going to fucking work, man. What are you up to?" And then all of a sudden we walk in the door, and there's an African-American guy behind the counter, and he looks at the dude and he goes, "You, come here," like that. And he goes, "You can't be fucking panhandling in the parking lot." He called some lady a bitch because she wouldn't give him any money. So she came in and complained. They called the cops, and he's telling them, "Dude, the cops are on their fucking way." But when you lock eyes with people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been to jail.
Yeah.
You keep your eyes locked on somebody too long, you're fist fighting.
Yeah.
That's all there is to it. They don't want to be tested. Right? So when I lock eyes with somebody and they stop in the middle of something, I thought for sure this guy was going to get punched. You know what I mean? Like he was on his way to, I was going to have to defend myself. That's just how I felt.
Which is a really interesting point, because I think my mode of operation when I was on the train was to not lock eyes with anyone.
Yeah.
It was put the headphones on, put on some music, look at the internet, update my Facebook, and don't look at anybody.
Right.
Don't connect, don't make contact.
And
that's sad, man.
That's really fucking sad. It's really sad that you can't enjoy the surroundings that you have. You have to use your peripherals every you don't want to look at someone, but you also, when you're looking at your phone, I can see everything beyond that too. You know what I mean? Like I'm not just in my phone, and I think that's, people need to not be so scared. You know what I mean? Like there's scary shit all over the place. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if we really wanted to focus in on it, we could have an anxiety attack before we leave our fucking house every single day. You know what I'm saying?
But, that's the tough thing about being on the train. It's like, how far do you go?
Yeah.
Because I could sit across from someone, give them eye contact, start a conversation, and then they're trying to sell me pencils that they just sold at the Walgreens downtown, or shampoo or shit. They're like, once they get that conversation going, then it's the game is on kind of thing. And
well, they see that you're a mark. And that's what it is.
Exactly.
I mean, if we really put it into position and think about it, when you conversate with people in general, people try to figure out a way to take advantage of whoever, whatever. You know what I mean? Like in everyday situation.
I don't do that.
Well,
I don't want to take advantage of, but that's me. I think being a humanist is like, the connection is important to me. The human experience is important to me. I don't want to be somebody that's manipulative.
Yeah.
I want to be truthful and honest and out there. That's kind of the alien inside thing, is like, channeling the strange person that you are and feeling comfortable about it,
Right.
Artemis is my alien inside.
Right.
My name is Chris. It's not Artemis. I created Artemis Sere 17 years ago during a very painful time in my life that I think I covered probably in depth in other shows.
Covered again real quick.
Well, no. I mean, it was just a really difficult breakup and difficult breakup with bands and a scene and people. And, I needed to have an outlet for all of the anger and strange feelings I was having. And that just kind of grew into Artemis. And 17 years later, 6 books later, 500 pieces of art later, it is sort of the talking alien that I have. And the gallery show.
I think we all need something like that,
right? I think that's kind of the conversation, is like, who is your alien inside? How do you let that alien speak for you?
Right.
People think fucking like History Channel, Ancient Aliens, but this isn't about the egghead. This is about the creative being that you have and that you express your strange thoughts and your strange visions with,
right.
without any sort of boundaries and without any sort of concern or, just being yourself,
right.
and allowing yourself to be yourself.
Now, you and I have talked about this several times as in a creative, platform is that opening that third eye. You know what I mean? And if you look at, any of the art that I use for the podcast, it has the all-seeing eye, and it's not because I'm an Illuminati, for fuck's sake.
Sure.
It just means that my eye is open. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why I use that all the time. That's why I have an eye tattooed in the ditch of my arm. You know what I mean? I have eyes on my elbows. You know what I mean? I think as I've grown as an artist, I've seen, you've inspired me so many times over.
Thank you.
And as I'm doing things digitally, I've shown them to you, and you're like, you've seen things in my stuff that I've never seen before, And I remember having a conversation with you late at night, and we were just talking over the internet, and I was saying, dude, I don't know how you just don't want to do this all the time. Like once you open it, it's like it's a flood of, wow, I can make art with that. Wow, and I showed you.
Yeah, totally.
I showed you a photo of something that I just started layering.
Yep.
And it was just a little light, a halogen light, or you know what I mean, on a fixture on the ceiling, And I just saw it, and Justin Fowler does this all the time too. I've noticed the keyboard player from American Head Charge. I've seen him take like abstract photos of something, and post them or change colors in you know what I mean?
Yep.
That's what I saw when I saw a lot of your stuff, because you were taking photos and not just pictures of that particular thing. I've seen you take mirrored photos and switch them, and I've seen you paint over the top of them and use texture over the top of those, and to me it spoke to me.
Yeah, if I'm going to manipulate anything, it's an artistic vision. I don't care. Manipulating people, come on.
Right.
Let's play with art. Let's tweak it and retrain it and do different things. And I think it's the age of the remix where anything is possible.
I don't think people look at art the way we do. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't think that they realize that the things that they're passionate about in life, like say somebody's building stereo systems, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like when they sit back and they turn their favorite tune on that stereo system after they built it, or, you're building a surround sound in your house, or, you know what I mean? Just anything that you like to do, there is creativity inside that. It's not just about a picture or a painting or you know what I mean, or music for that matter.
Express yourself.
Exactly, dude. That alien that you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
I relate with that so fucking much, and I don't think I would have tapped into that if I hadn't had you in
Well, thank you.
What you always say is your orb. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I said this to Nick earlier today, another one of our coworkers, and I said, I'm kind of one of those people that just loves to see people thrive.
Yeah,
I love to see my friends do well.
100%.
I love to see people that I might not see you every single fucking day, but if our orbs have passed, our paths have crossed in some way, and I still see a picture of you and your child happy, or you have this significant event happening, I'm gonna say congratulations, and I truly mean that. You know what I mean? So it's having good people around you and having creative people around you is only gonna inspire you more.
Yeah, your network is super important.
Yeah.
On that note, my network on the professional side hasn't been the thing that's helped me this time around. The big wisdom was that, if you get laid off or you lose your job, you got to lean on your network, and you got to do all these things with your network. These days, that doesn't even work well. So I think maybe like having a strong creative network, a passion network, is almost more effective to me. Like those people are people that inspire and drive us to create more and show more. So, the background of SERE is that it's an acronym. It's more of like a life commitment to being artistically evolving all the time.
Dude,
you can see that in 2010, I just started painting. 14 years later, I'm having a gallery show with 50 paintings, and I've done over 500. So,
now I've seen you open up a whole bunch. And I've talked about this on several different podcasts with and without you, I saw you start pieces, multiple pieces, and then have them on the back burner multiple times.
Yep.
And you release something and then bring it back and remix it and release it again and keep doing that. And I remember you kind of being gun shy at times, to where you're like, I just maybe more of a perfectionist than you wanted to be at times.
Yeah.
And then I've seen you say, and see you like be more how do you say it, more confident a little bit in what you're releasing, and allowing your creativity to flow a lot more free.
Yeah.
And I've seen that in that time that I've really been hanging with you and talking with you. You know what I mean? I've seen you open up your artistic, as we said before, your third eye. You know what I mean? And really just let it fly more than being more reserved.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. Like the beginning of the Artemis Sere, I seen you more of a perfectionist. Yeah. And not that your art isn't perfect now. Yeah. You know, it's probably more.
I didn't have the confidence. That's a great call. Early on, maybe the first, I don't know, 8 years, I didn't do a whole lot. Maybe part of it was
I loved
getting into
what
social media.
I loved what I saw,
well,
and that's why I gravitated to it so much. Is because I loved what I saw, and I believed in it. You know what I mean? Like it spoke to me, dude. That's all there is to it. And when you have a friend who's that creative and does cool things with texture and art and color and everything, you know, like there's some spooky shit. I talked to you about this on the way back from the Forge too. You know what I mean? It was like there were certain pieces where they were very like, you know what I mean? They're ominous, and I loved it.
I love ominous stuff, but I also learned through this process that not all your shit can be ominous, because then you get this tag that you're fucking gothy and you know. I have that side, but the thing I think has really evolved is my approach to topics and content, and how I want to, you know, like we talked about last week. I'm doing things now called projections, which I'll take a photograph that I've taken, project it on a canvas, and then paint without lines, and really kind of do it in one sitting. Part of my thing is to try and get through a piece in one day or one process, so I don't have to spend a lot of extra time now. But I also appreciate that pieces need to, you know, they need to dry and need to do things in order for you to add more great texture and layers. So I think I'm getting better at being an artist. People that don't really know me, you know, I have a degree in English. I'm more of a writer than I am a visual artist. I always was more of a writer. So when I started Artemis Sere, it was more about writing and writing books. And so my first book, Obscurious, that I released in 2010, that was a lot more poetry, short fiction, and photography. Didn't really have painting or any of that stuff.
Now, you have links on your website, correct?
I do.
So I am scrolling right now, and if you guys are looking on the bottom of the screen here, it says check out Artemis Sere at cereticstudios.com. Go check out his stuff there, and he does a lot of stuff with music as well. He does. Now we've done a couple podcasts on here with music and his best of lists and stuff like that. I know that he has all of this stuff on his website.
I do.
Ceretic Studios.
Well, I mean, historically, the links that I had for our stuff was to your site.
Oh, yeah. It's pulled down now.
That's not there anymore. So you can't really track the previous times we've been on.
I do have some stuff on YouTube still. So you can go back, and I can link some of that stuff too.
Yeah, whatever works. Our historical connection has been to do a podcast every year about music.
Yep.
So, you know, I release a top 20 list every year of best favorite albums. Been doing that since 2010, probably 2009 if I think about it, back to Facebook and some of those older days. But you can read all of those on my website. It's actually a kind of a great content strategy for me because it draws a lot of traffic. Having you know, the frustrating thing we can't do now, which is play music.
Yeah,
you know?
that's that.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Sorry, YouTube. Fuck YouTube for that. Because you know.
I mean, if you're, that's the sad thing about it is like if you're able to post the links to the stuff where you can go and download it or buy it or whatever you need to do, then it shouldn't be a problem. You know what I mean? Like you're just trying to get that music out to other people for them to enjoy it.
Exactly.
And let's be honest, man, the music industry fucking needs it right now. All right. So I mean, if you're selling shit on whatever streaming site that you need to sell it on, like the more draws you can do to that, you know what I mean? Like we work with a guy who didn't listen to Bloodbath, you know what I mean? And like it's fucking great ass band, and all of a sudden he's like, all right, you caught me. I slept on this band. You know what I mean? That type of shit. And it's just we tried to do that from the very beginning. What was it, like 7 songs or something?
Something like that. Yeah, we'd open with some, then have like a break or play like 2 or 3 during two different breaks and close the song. The thing with YouTube, especially when you're streaming like podcasts and stuff, you would think that the record labels and like industry heads would appreciate that
you're trying to push their music.
Yeah, advocacy.
And like it's free publicity.
Yeah.
But I think what bugs them is that if your videos are monetized,
Oh, yeah.
and they're like, well, now you're using our
Stuff to make money off of it.
our
Gotcha.
IP and making money off of it.
Right.
But if you have, I don't know how you have the channel set up, but if it's not monetized, then you should just be able to check a thing that says, hey, I'm not monetized, so I can play these songs.
Yeah. I could play whatever I want. Well, I'm, 700 or 600 people away from being monetized, so I don't have any problem with that at the moment. But it would be, I've never done this for money.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like an automated way that YouTube does that, because I post clips from shows that I record, and I know it goes through a verification process for those and gets pre-approved.
It's kind of an automated AI thing that will flag certain things. I think it was it Metallica?
Because our last show was shut down because we were playing songs.
Yeah, over and over again. Yeah, we were trying to make our way through it. Oh, sorry about that. I kind of
I think it was Metallica who did a live stream, which is coincidentally enough that I think it was them, that the YouTube shut down their live stream.
They deserved
and
it.
copyrighted them for playing Metallica
Their own music?
songs.
Oh.
Yeah.
But it was the band
Metallica.
playing their own.
That's funny.
So it's definitely not a perfect tool that they have, and I've seen a lot of talk online, people kind of getting disgruntled with YouTube and all these changes.
Right.
That there needs to be some sort of video platform that can come up and compete with them.
Right.
And do things a little differently. Whether it be, if your videos aren't going to be monetized, then you're not under as strict restrictions as far as music or copywritten stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of YouTube creators have been, they're now making way less because YouTube changed different algorithms and everything. And
So I was watching a drone guy that does a ton of, and I think he had I want to say 70 to 100,000 followers. You know what I'm saying? And he was saying, that there's a good possibility that you get lost in the algorithm, or the algorithm fucks you and your shit goes way down to the, and people it's hard for some of these guys that have been doing it for a long time to have their shit go through, in a normal fashion, So it's tough to hear that shit too, man. Let's catch up with our chat here. We got Amen Artemis, 100% agree. Glad that Mr. Greg is back. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate it, bro. Star Wars is the nerds' holy grail. The original Star Wars trilogy is timeless. Here we go with the Tannic. Tannic says, I work 40 hours a week with you guys, and what do? Come home and watch you on YouTube. Hashtag blessed. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Here, wait. Give him a couple of these. Give him some quick guns, Adam.
please don't encourage him.
Adam says, I'm really happy to see you, that you are safe, Mr. Artemis, while you were on the light rail. Mr. Underwood, Jeremy Underwood, good to see you doing well, pal. I missed browsing your podcast. Keep up the good fight, my friend. Thank you, Jeremy. Hope you're well as well. I hope you're well as well. Hope you're putting up lots of cranes, buddy. Let me see here. Adam says, well, Mr. Jordan, the golden rule gone. I'm not. That's what sucks about looking back at I should just turn on the thing so it talks when we.
Well, it was back to our talk about the light rail and the decency.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then Dusty says, happy y'all are back, and then in he's screaming it, Tiger Bomb. Yeah. What happened with Tiger Bomb, Jordan?
Your obnoxious ass posted some shit.
That, well, you know, it was just a conversation that we had, and I didn't want to post the conversation, but that he, you know, he
Tiger Balm somehow or another got in a very precarious location on someone's body after a shower, and it was, from what I hear, a horrible situation. So I sent Greg a picture of some Tiger Balm, and I'm like,
saying what? So what'd you say? I'm prepared for a fantastic evening or some shit like that?
preparing for a stellar night or something like that. So he posted it.
Say
to
that
Facebook.
you had a fetish.
And Courier, my band, has kind of just ran with it so far as to changing the react symbol in our band chat to a tiger. Just the dumbest shit.
Now, see, Rob Carlson.
Dumb as shit works.
Yeah, Rob Carlson did the same thing as he did. He as soon as they did that, they switched the icon or whatever. He sends it to me and he just says, "Well, what'd you say? Look what you did," or "You're to blame for this," or some shit like that. And which is funny.
Your fault.
Yeah, this is your fault. But Rob Carlson had the same thing. I called him Bobby Icon, and you know, somebody else made a joke and called him Cannibal Carlton. So I called Jordan and I was like, I literally was having a conversation with this dude, and he, slip of the lip, said Cannibal Carlton, have him do it. And he looked at me, he goes, Carlton, no, Cannibal or, you know, Cannibal Carlson is what he meant to say. And then I just looked at him and I go, wait, hold on a second. And I called Jordan. I was like, dude, you have to make I know what I need to do. He's fucking, but like within the hour, he photoshopped Rob's face on
Carlton dancing.
doing the dance. That's hilarious, dude.
I put some music notes and said, it's not unusual to have a bud with anyone.
Because he's a
And
huge Budweiser guy, too.
And now it's on a couple shirts.
Yeah, a couple shirts. Tanic's got one. I have one.
I think Glut for Punishment needs to slap a logo on those and sell them at shows.
Hell yeah. I think they'd sell. I think they'd sell, to be honest with you. I think they should do the Tanic shirts, too. The one where he's like,
all the different
dude.
memes.
Yeah, so there's a group of them that they Photoshop each other's pictures all the time. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like somebody, their buddy Ross, our buddy Ross, photoshopped Rob. It was just a guy spanking his kid, you know, and it's Tanic going like that as being the kid, and Rob going like this, like bad Tanic, and just a bunch of his. I saved all the expressions that people have, you know, how like your emojis, you know?
Yep.
So it's just different faces that Tanic's making, and then it says, you know, I'm scared of this, or you're a
I'm
poser.
concerned, or I like this, you know, like your reacts on Facebook, but they're all different pictures of him. And and didn't
Gold.
His
Pure gold.
he played a show and his whole band wore shirts with
the
different
meme on
ones
it.
on them.
And it was a scene chick who made all the shirts and had them.
That's funny.
Liz, I think her name is.
Hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious. Really good.
Well done, team.
Great joke. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just never ending joke. So you know that's what you do with friends. Is just
We joke.
you fucking torment each other. You know what I mean? Like, so dude, you've got all these books in front of me. What do you got?
Sure,
what do you
sure.
got going
So
on
I
here?
thought since you know, most of our podcasts are around music. Historically, we've been doing the top 20s. Really didn't talk about much music over the last we haven't talked much art over the last few years. I've released a bunch of books, and I brought them since we're on YouTube now. And historically, we were on voice only, and people couldn't see my shit. So, you know, I brought them so we can show them if we want, and we, you know, if you want to talk about them, it's really however you want to do it.
They can get these books on your website,
Yeah.
too, right?
So this one.
I'll take a look at this one.
That one is my most recent one, released in December last year. It's a 10-year anniversary. We'll call it an upgrade of my first book, Obscurious. Sort of rewritten, reconcepted, rearted. I would say 50% of the book is new. So if you had the first one, this is a sort of a different experience. It's meant to be interactive, so you're looking at an echo page. That's, you know, where you can journal and put your thoughts about what
I
you're
love this.
reacting to.
I love this. This is great, man.
Thank you.
This is a really cool idea.
Thank you.
And all of your art in the background too.
Yeah, so all the art is mine. Photography or art, back in 2010, like I mentioned, I hadn't been painting at all. So the majority of the art at that time was photography and digital tweaks and stuff that I was doing. Now I'm doing sort of more advanced stuff where I'll integrate, paintings
Lots of poetry in this one.
and photography and all sorts of weird stuff.
You can see all that stuff in the
So,
background.
yeah. Thank you. So it's where I get to. I had a series of those books that I was working on of 8 books of poetry, short fiction, stuff like that, around a bone setter theme, and I've sort of released that and went a different direction with the concept of the book, because the whole goal of the last book was to have sort of like poetic revenge with some of the darkness of it. And I don't, that's part of the evolution of this. I don't want that anymore. So I stripped a bunch of content that I thought was sort of angry and evil and put in different stuff and made it a different sort of experience. Even though it reflects a decade of darkness, it shows a lot
That
of
was one of my favorite ones.
evolution.
Too. That photo.
Thank you, brother.
I like that.
That's one of the that old school ones for sure.
Yeah.
So that was,
and that's the stuff I was really not that I don't love the stuff that you're doing now, but this was the stuff that really captured me through all of this too, and maybe how you encounter people at certain times in your life,
Yeah.
or like if you're going through specific things like speak to you more.
Yeah.
And maybe that was the the process with
Yep.
me too.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like I was seeing a whole lot more. Let me see some more of those.
So this one was released. This one was released in 2020. This is the first volume of
Back
my
this
Echo
up so good.
Prism series. So these are
see my fat fingers in the middle of that.
my first 300 paintings or pieces are in that book. That book itself cost $250 to print, so it's not available to anyone. But the more normal version is for sale. I sell it for like $50, and it's a color full color versions of my art. It's numbered. It's got all the information about them. I use them as my gallery books, because I was creating art so fast that I would forget what the names of each piece was, and I would just lose information about them. So I spent a lot of time in 2019 creating an inventory of everything, of all the art, and then numbering them and collecting all the information about them.
Do you know any of these by numbers?
No.
Like if I shouted a number, you couldn't.
No, probably not. That's kind of the thing. I just
So some
I
of these
keep creating,
pieces
yeah.
now, just out of curiosity, now are these pieces for sale, or are these just kind of archived pieces that you want to hold on to?
I will say that anything's for sale, and the Alien Inside show is obviously it's on a consignment sort of situation, so anything there is going to be for sale. I'm open to selling anything I have. Some of that stuff I would probably price it out of the range of people being able to afford it, so I could hold on to it. One of the challenges I think I have is that I sell away pieces that
now if that's not
that I wish I had back.
part of that Alien Inside
Right.
type of thing, man, that is a fucking wicked piece, man.
Thank you. That's also resined.
That is
It's
wicked, man.
and it's multi. That's one thing I'd started doing is kind of multi-leveling my pieces.
Yeah.
So I'd have a painted level, then I'd resin, and then I'd paint again, and then I'd resin. So it sort of has a multi-level effect. If you don't know what resin is, it's a plastic that.
No, it's in your pipe after you're done smoking.
Yeah. Well, you know what I mean.
Sorry, I took that to the cheese.
So this was that was Echo Prism Volume 1. That was released in 2020. Jordan's got Volume 2 here, and it's the next 300 pieces. And
Jeez.
it's I think more of the pieces from the Alien Inside show are from that other book, just because it feels like they're just a more evolved. They're later pieces,
Right.
The first volume has a bunch of pieces from 2010 through 20.
Have you
15.
ever thought about it as you're coming in contact with it? It's growing inside of you. You know, like taking a historic look at it too. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if you've ever.
I don't. So
presenting it like that. You know what I mean?
It's hard for me to. What I didn't do with the gallery books, which was really hard to do it chronologically to kind of show my evolution. I just had so many pieces when I went to inventorying. I didn't have time to kind of sit through and say, hey, well, this one was early, this one, you know. And I have pieces in the gallery that are, you know, from when I was a kid.
Sure.
I have pieces in the gallery from pieces that I've inherited from other people.
Right.
You know, like I own all these.
Right.
Or have made 90% of them. So started some of the gallery is from inherited or purchased pieces. But the chronological part of it was really difficult to do. So maybe someday kind of have a retrospective. I mean, what I've really worked on over the last few years is add pieces to my website.
I think I may have not said that properly.
Okay.
When like if you're doing the Alien Inside, like looking through some of your past pieces and incorporating some of that as a transition to where the alien is actually. You know like I mean?
At the show
at Bloom, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I like it. I like it.
I don't know.
So part
of the
challenge like is that have to sell them.
Yeah.
So I have to decide
which ones you're gonna.
Yeah. So that's sort of the cheaper version, the $50 one, 358 pages. I think it's at. It's got some short fiction, some autobiographical stuff, but it's full color.
Just some fucking amazing pieces in here, bro.
Thank you. I think I really like what I did. For like gallery books that represent your experience.
Now, is this a candle you made?
Yes, I did. I bought.
Oh, sorry, I'm not showing people. I'm just fucking holding it in my hand. Going.
I bought the mold off of Amazon, and for those that don't know, I also do candles. That's kind of to your point. You start kind of one place, and then your creativity goes all over the map.
Didn't show the other side of it.
So I found that wood piece at, I think it was Goodwill. I sanded it, repainted it, gave it some crazy hair, and incorporated my candles with it. So, I try and do that multimedia, incorporating resin. I have I think about 100 pieces that also glow in the dark. That I wanted to do a show this year that focuses on those, which we've talked about.
I love that piece too.
The Interstellar. I didn't even add that, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to sell that. That's kind of one of the things. Which ones do I want to put
You're not
up?
gonna unless you start seeing some big numbers. I don't think that you're gonna. That's why I was saying, man. He was telling me exactly like how many pieces as we're going to this art gallery, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna have to start setting them on the outside of your house and like putting your house in like a shadow box so you can save them all, right, and still have room to create. That's why.
Well, that's the challenge that I've come across now is that I have so much art that it's.
Hey, look it, it's the picture that I used for the flyer actually.
So what you're looking at right now is the inside of the first version of the Alien Inside gallery book. This will be available on the 23rd. I won't have it available at the event. It'll be available for order because.
So did you figure out? Are you going to have someone available to take orders at the show?
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet.
Yeah. So I'm going to work. Tina's going to be there, and
awesome.
I think my mom's going to help. And
I think my wife will be there, and my daughter wants to come too. So there'll be a group of people.
Awesome. That'd be great. I want to
a grip like 4. I just named like 3 or 4.
That all the help and participation that we can get. I'd love it. Whatever we can. Thank you.
No, I know
Jamie
we talked about doing a possible podcast at some point. I would like to have the curator sit down. I would like to have you actually explain some of the art that you brought with you. If you have, this is in slot A1, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Like if you go and having the people after they sit down and listen to what you're talking about, go back through and appreciate the art.
Yeah, I think what we can do is we can set up in the auditorium area.
Sure.
And we can just do a podcast there. And if people want to participate and listen and maybe ask questions or, you know.
I mean, this setup is really easy to move. That's
Yeah.
why I was saying it's really not too hard, you know, to have, you know, a small monitor or whatever. And, you know, the place is large enough to be able to do it.
Yeah.
So I think that, you know, throwing this stuff in a case, we'd be able to enjoy it and be able to be
I think that audience sort of participation and conversation would be really fun to have.
Yeah.
And similar to what we're talking about right now. I really am interested in, you know, the aliens that people have inside to express.
Right.
Maybe they haven't, or
You know,
or how they do. You know, how Jordan does and how you do.
What we were talking about on the way
tie-dye.
there, on the way back, is that I'm assuming that this place, when they do receptions or when they pick a artist of the month, that they're going to have, you know, a built-in group of people to come and other artists, and maybe they'll be able to relay that same message too.
Well, I think my art is probably the strangest that is on the list for this year.
So have you seen all the
you can go to the 1106 website. I'm listed there as Artist of the Month. If you just do a search for the 1106 Eau Claire or Artesian Forge Eau Claire, I'll be listed as Artist of the Month. But you can see the rest of the kind of art that they draw Artist of the Month to, because they're all within the building.
Sure.
I think I might be one of the only ones from outside of that building.
Yeah,
so they
I saw that. Yeah,
you know, so I'm in with amazing artistic company.
Yeah.
So in comparison to the rest of the artists that are practicing there and showing as Artist of the Month, my art is different.
There's
and I chose that. I chose that intentionally.
Oh yeah.
Because this show is splashy. It's weird. It's got crazy stuff. Like I've said, I've got normal stuff. I've got cats. I've got sunset. I've got nature. I've got all the Zen stuff that most people would see in a normal show.
Yeah, right.
This is not normal. This is concentrated oddness, and I hope people appreciate that.
Yeah, dude, Adam, show up. Come to Eau Claire if you can, man. It'd be good to have you jump on, or at least come and interact with us since you're you've interacted with us many times before. So
we love it.
It would be cool to have
great to meet
have
you.
you there, man. Yeah,
great to meet anybody. I mean, Adam, I would love to meet you. You know, it's a little bit of a trip, but not really as far as what people would expect.
We made it there very fast.
Yeah, I mean, we were there hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah, give or take hour and a half.
Yeah,
depending on traffic and whatnot.
Yeah,
so not that bad at all.
Not bad at all.
So anybody that comes, please, introduce yourself, say hi. We want to make this, kind of a collaborative event.
It would be really cool to have folks that have been enjoying the podcast throughout the years or whatever, to just come by and be part of the live thing too. You know what I mean?
Come support the podcast. Come support the artists. I mean, the artists of the 1106 collaborative.
Yeah, there's so much for sale there. There's so much to see.
Graffiti art to welding art. I mean, I could go on all night about the amazing artists that are there. And it's just every your turn, there's a new, different kind of art style.
Yep.
It is eclectic.
Everything's for sale too.
Yeah, that too. It's probably outpriced for most of us, but it's it's an amazing mix.
If you're an appreciator and you got fat pockets,
yes, that's a place you want to visit for sure.
Yeah, it's a very cool place. I was absolutely blown away by how much cool stuff was. I thought that the artist in February was very similar at certain points to some of the stuff.
I agree. I'm not. Please,
I would say
that I'm knocking.
I would say way more tone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Not as, I don't know, exploratory. I don't know.
I think I have cool pieces that are more. I don't want to say conservative abstracts, but I didn't want to do a show around that.
Sure.
This isn't about that.
Right.
I committed to Trillium at the 1106 that I was going to do a show that was splashy, that was not dark, that was not crazy sort of evil or, getting into horror themes. I wanted to do something kind of flashy and bright and strange for the coming of spring. And it sort of resonated well with my whole Year of the Alien theme. Every year, as a brand, I pick a theme. Last year, I had the Year of Echoes, which really was more a reflective year. Obscurious came out then, and it was just all my profile pictures and covers were all black and white. So it was just, I kind of had a theme of kind of muted life.
Right.
And this year, very different. I have really trying to get, I don't want to say stranger, but be very different than it was last year.
Right.
And I think in general that we've touched on some of the challenges we have as a culture.
Yeah.
In us coming at us in 2024.
Yeah.
And it's going to get weirder and it's going to get crazier.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to, impress upon people to like check their xenophobia, check their fear of difference, check their fear of aliens around us.
Yeah.
I don't know if this exhibit, if this gallery show can help that, but I think it's important for us because in 2024, shit's going to get weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Later this year, it's going to get weird.
I feel like,
I want people in, connected
Yeah.
and caring and maybe desensitized from some of the fear of the unknown.
Right. Oh yeah.
So if I can do that in the one little way with this exhibit, that's what I'm trying to do.
Wow, man, being creative and letting people see that, it's a great avenue to
connecting all of our
escape from it,
aliens,
too.
acknowledging that we all have fucking strangers inside,
Right.
That speak for us and create for us, and we need to appreciate that. Whether we're meeting them on the train, whether we're meeting them at the bar,
Right.
whether we're meeting them at the gallery show.
Yes. Oh, Adam says he would love to come. However, he's playing a show at Studio B on the 23rd with Blue Felix. Well, you get to be the alien that night, buddy, and show your creativity out there to the world too, man. So you'll be a part of it. We'll be in Eau Claire doing our thing, and you'll be over here doing your thing, and it'll be a synergy through energy all the way across, right?
Synergy through energy.
There you go.
Talk about a tagline right there.
There you go.
For something.
He says, I know your art show will go fantastic, Mr. Artemis. I'll sure to shoot you a message on that date to let you know I'm thinking about you and keeping you in my prayers. That's awesome.
Thank you, Adam. Thank you, brother.
Very
Appreciate
cool,
it.
man. Very cool. Oh, yeah. What else we got?
What else do we got? Well, we could talk about music, or we could. It's really your call, my friend. This is your show.
What do you got for music?
Well,
tell me something good.
Well, I was curious what Jordan's favorite music was for 2023. Your favorite music, since we don't do the top 20 anymore.
Jesus, I mean,
what were you listening to?
Metal wise, fuck. I would say that new Immolation, something that jumped out at me in 2023.
What about people online? What did they like in 2023?
Fuck, I don't pay attention to any of that. I'm too focused on.
No, I mean on YouTube.
Oh.
How about our people that are online? If throw out what you were listening to in 2023.
Yeah, who people who are watching right now? Throw out what you were into in 2023. Sorry, I'm after a long day for my first podcast back. And,
you're all good. You're all good. We haven't done this before.
And
audience participation.
Marijuana is legal in Minnesota now.
Woohoo!
And I just saw on the news that they cannot random drug test you anymore.
Really?
Really. They just said it. They cannot. No job can random drug test you. They can
on the state level or federally.
They just said just for Minnesota from what I read.
Anyone that has like some sort of federal contract or
I'm sure
whatever.
Yeah. I'm sure there's
always
a hole
loopholes
somewhere. And like, they were saying that the jobs will have to like express that they don't want it on the premises and they don't want it, and if you hurt somebody or anything like that, you're going to get, Dustin says Gideon. I discovered last year Gideon, I believe that's what it is. I'm going to have to check that out. They're on some show that I just saw. God damn.
What kind of music is it, Dustin?
I'm not.
Let us know.
Yeah. Or we'll just look it up.
Or that too. But we can't play it
No,
because
we can't play it. We can play 30 seconds of it. He says, late to the party for sure. Yeah, man. I mean, we were just talking about that earlier today and yesterday about the Bloodbath thing. Our buddy Tannic hadn't listened to Bloodbath, Nightmares Made Flesh. He never heard that album, and that's a fantastic album. So, we listened to Misery Index as well, right?
Yeah, he had never heard them either, which really surprised me.
He seemed like he was listening. You know what I
Yes.
mean? Like you could tell he was kind of.
Who's this?
Our buddy Tannic, our
Nate
one
Tannic.
of the guys we work with.
Yeah, I met him in
Yes.
Fargo.
Yep. Good dude. Horrible taste in music, so that's why we had to freshen him up a little. something
I really
like King Diamond.
no.
Okay,
absolutely
sorry.
not. Like King
Metalcore
Diamond or
from Alabama. Sorry,
Okay.
that's what he was saying
Gideon?
for Gideon. Yep. Sorry.
King Diamond has a stupid mustache.
Is it like a?
It's just silly.
I have to look at it now.
One album I really liked last year was that new Black Braid album. I really dug that.
Who was it?
Black Braid.
Okay.
It's Native American black metal.
Interesting. I'll check that out.
And they
Where are they from? I guess I got the internet right in front of me.
They're from here?
not Minnesota, the U.S. I'm not entirely sure where they're from.
Now we're talking just the regular porn stash he's got. I mean, you know, he's
King
got
Diamond?
King Diamond's got just a regular porn stash. That's like a fucking
But he doesn't.
70s.
He doesn't cover it up with the fucking corpse paint, or at least he didn't used to. So it was just this like black and white corpse paint with like
a mustache,
with a fucking dead ferret on his head.
Well, it just looks like a black blob right there. Bring all the metalcore. Frickin' love metalcore.
Yes. Yes.
I freaking like that Evernorth song that we.
That was
started
good.
out with.
That was
It's
good
stuff. And they're playing again. I'm gonna show this again because they do have a show tomorrow, and that is at the.
I dug it.
Amsterdam.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
What was the name of that song?
That one was "Burn the Forest," I believe.
Burn the Forest.
Burn the Forest. Oh, I fucked it all up, didn't I? Oh, don't play. Oh, Burn the Forest. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the name of the EP that they just released. It's a 2-song EP. I got it on iTunes, so you can always check out Evernorth. They're playing tomorrow night at Amsterdam. 6 is doors, 7 at the show. So go see those guys. And then go ahead. What were you looking at? What else you looking at?
Oh, the Black Braid. They're from the Adirondack Mountains in New York.
Okay. I'll check it out.
They're a New York
that.
band, huh? What is it called?
Black Braid.
Black Braid, huh?
That makes sense with the Native American.
Not Black Beard.
It like they incorporate a lot of native drums and flutes and stuff
Cool.
into the stuff. And
Really?
it's a lot of songs like are kind of based on Native American myth and folklore.
Interesting.
It just, I'm not a huge fan of a lot of black metal, really. There's a few bands I do like, but it's different, and it was just like the rhythms were really cool, and just it really drew me in. I was listening to it a whole lot.
I'll check it out. I was listening to Native American music from Bass Nectar on my way here. He did a song with a Native American chant recently on one of my top albums from last year, and I don't know, I just really dig it. It's on my Alien Inside playlist on YouTube. So if you follow me on YouTube, I've got an Alien Inside playlist, songs that are going to be either played at the event or inspire me. The theme, I mean, I think the vibe of the Alien Side to me is a little bit probably more industrial, and I'm a dubstepper, so it's a little bit more electronic than probably this crowd is used to. But I don't know.
I like all kinds of shit. So
it still it still resonates well with me. Listening to like Liquid Stranger and Bass Nectar and some of that weird ass shit.
I was just gonna say, I recall the first podcast you were on, and you played Liquid Stranger.
Yeah.
And I actually really dug it. And
Carnival of
started listening to him.
Yeah. Did you listen? Have you listened to him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
See,
that's beautiful.
That's
brother.
what I'm talking about, man.
That's synergy right there.
That's
Synergy and energy.
See, that's what I'm talking about, though, man. That's what the podcast was all about in the beginning. You know what I mean? Like that was like showing people,
Right. Right.
Not just telling about.
So here we
telling
are,
about
what, 12 years later? Alien Inside is very I got Liquid Stranger very prominent on the Alien Inside soundtrack. A lot weirder alien music. So I'll probably add Devin Townsend on there too now that I think about it. But
Yeah, and I do have that playlist in on the podcast website too. I did share that as well.
cool. Thank you. Thank you. So if you want to listen to what I'm listening to, I don't have that linked up anywhere else right now. But
You don't have it on the website or anything
no,
like that?
I don't right now. But I will at some point.
You can go on my Facebook and actually scroll down the front page, and you'll be able to find that playlist for Alien Inside. And like I said, I've been kind of bouncing back and forth from the flyer art. Don't forget to check us out. We're going to be at the what is it, 1106?
1106 Mondovi Road,
Yep.
Eau Claire, Wisconsin. That's the address.
Yeah, that's the address, and is Artesian Forge, I believe, on Facebook.
Well,
as well.
you can probably find it best by Googling Artesian Forge. They changed their name to the 1106.
Yeah,
Their website still says
Artesian Forge.
yeah,
Forge. They're the
but-
same place.
Yeah, when you click on it, it has a big
1106
Yeah.
thing on it. Yeah,
So don't get confused. They're virtually the same place.
yeah,
They just changed names.
we're saying we're calling this we're saying the name. It's the same place.
It's exactly the same.
Derp,
Yep,
derp,
yep,
derp.
yep.
Sorry about that.
So one band I was really into last year, I discovered it late, I think 2022, was Orbit Culture. Did you guys get into them at all?
I have not heard it.
I have not either.
Oh, you have to.
Orbit Culture.
Orbit Culture, While We Serve. Definitely find that song and listen to it.
Culture, huh?
They just recently played here, gosh, with Machine Head, I think it was.
Okay, I was gonna say I the name sounded familiar to me for some reason.
Yeah. You guys start listening to them, you will fall in love with them.
No shit.
Yes.
Have
will.
you?
Oh, gosh, yeah. The While We Serve video really reminds me of, not musically, but concept-wise, of the Symphony of Destruction from Megadeth video, Gristle mix that came out back in the 90s with War and George Bush and all sorts of shit. It's a really, really powerful and great video. So highly recommend Orbit Culture, While We Serve, if you've...
While We Serve, I see a visualizer.
There should be a... There you go. Third
I'm
video
looking
down.
at their
This one here.
Yep, that's the one.
Their Spotify, and I'm really digging their album artwork.
That's sick.
Yeah.
got some
They were
really
my
nice looking
number 3 album last year.
Oh, nice. You
Love
have a
'em.
list. You have a list of your list.
I have a list on my website that I released in December. So if you get there to my homepage, go down, Greg, a little bit further. It's in that second row, I think. Best of 2023.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Hold on. I can actually show this too. I think.
rad.
check. Now it's coming in, I think. There we go. Sorry about that. You probably missed all of that. Holy fuck. I didn't even realize it. I look over and it's gone. Oh, man, that's horrible. We just went through a whole list of cool shit. So go back and just look at the list. Or I could scroll back up. Either one. But I
Did they hear me or did they just not?
It just went dead as soon as I put up the fucking YouTube thing because I didn't click that one. I don't hardly ever use that anymore.
Oh,
you know, so it was like,
gotcha.
no, we just go back to the. They can't see it anymore. They're looking at us now.
Oh,
but they can hear us now. So, go ahead. You can keep going.
All right. So Health is another more recent find for me. Fell in love with them last year. This is their newest album. They have some really great tracks on there. One, they used Godflesh. I mean, they have all sorts of partnerships with bands. They
Nice.
did band released an album last year with Lamb of God and Poppy and all sorts of really cool artists. It's on my last list. But this is them purely.
Thanks, Adam.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Thanks for calling.
So
that out.
what is it, Justin Broderick? That's the guy from Godflesh, right?
Yeah. You know, to be real with you, they didn't actually partner with him. They used a
Samples.
sample of
Okay, gotcha.
a Godflesh song in their song, which is this, I think, Sicko. But it's still a cool ass song, and they make cool ass music.
Oh, so if they are? Did they use the Like Rats thing? Did they use that?
I think so.
Feed like rats. That shit.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That works because
Yeah.
that's a badass song.
I mean, I would say give Health a chance. They have some amazing music in their catalog. I fell in love with them for sure. Three Teeth, another one of those bands, industrial metal that I really dig. This new album is full of great songs. So I don't know if you know who Three Teeth are.
No. What does it say? English horror rappers?
So yeah, on the album they do a song with a band called Horror.
Oh, gotcha.
But they've got all sorts of partnerships. They're like industrial metal, I guess I would categorize them. Have you heard Three Teeth?
I've heard of them. Can't say that I've knowingly listened to anything.
Okay.
I may have.
Sure.
But
In passing.
Always love the new Bass Nectar. He ranked pretty highly on my list this year. It's beautiful, inspiring, trippy.
Mom says hi.
Hi, Mom.
Thank you for joining us. Appreciate it very much. Hope to see
Love you, Mom.
Hope to see you at the show. Sorry,
Yeah.
Sorry if my foul mouth has offended you in any way.
Let's see. Number 6, another band artist that I'm a big fan of.
Oh, Bass Nectar.
Oh, Bass Nectar, yeah. And then IMX, he is Chris Corner, formerly from Sneaker Pimps.
Oh, nice.
You just gotta, if you haven't listened to IMX, you just need to. That's what it comes down to, his voice, his talent. He's more avant-garde art rock now, industrial metal, sort of. But he is one of those guys that completely always inspires me.
Adam's all over all these. He said Three Teeth. Exit is a good song, a great song. He said good band because Bass Nectar is always dope.
Always dope. He is. I saw him live in 2012, and gosh, it is such a beautiful experience to see him live. Cyanotic, another band that's good friends of mine. Sean Payne, out of Chicago, runs Glitch Mode Studios.
Nice.
There. And this album actually has a really dark history because last year he was in a car accident in Rochester where his wife died.
Oh, no.
And this album sort of grew out of that. Has a song dedicated to her. And they're playing here in Minneapolis on, I think, the 17th with KMFDM.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So
That's a fucking
Again,
nice bill.
yeah, it is going to be fun. And it's at
You got your tickets
First
for that?
Ave.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I don't have him.
Great
yet.
venue for that.
Yeah. Here's one that's a little bit different for probably people in the audience. K-Flay. I'm a big K-Flay fan. If you don't know who K-Flay is, she's I found her on a Tom Morello album a few years ago. Just started following all her work, and she's just an amazing vocalist, artist, musician. Can't play that now, but I invite you to check her out.
what does this say right here? It says, touching slice of her life is her struggles.
Yeah, so the album is named Mono because last year she lost hearing in her, I think, right ear. Mm-hmm. So now, as an artist, as a musician, she can only hear out of one ear.
Damn.
And she had to learn how to live again, only being able to hear out of one ear.
Wow.
So I think the album is inspiring because it talks about the process she went through of learning sort of to hear again and survive again with only one ear working.
How did that happen? What?
I think she had some sort of like viral infection. It just sort of, it wasn't like an accident. It was like a viral infection or something. I'm sorry, I don't know.
No, that's all right.
Here's Orbiculture, my number 3. A wonderful, wonderful band that I can't say enough amazing things about. Their album Descent, both of you guys would love.
All right.
And they have a follow-up called The Forgotten. It's an EP that came out in December. That's what has While We Serve on it. That song, I didn't even know it for the majority of 2023. When it came out in December, it just sort of took over my playlist. So
I have to fucking look this shit up. Orbit Culture.
Or just come back to the playlist if you need to. I have this whole 2023 playlist, songs from the 2023 list on my YouTube too.
There you go. Nice.
So if you ever want to just put it on and
just let it rip.
Let's see, number 2, Code Orange. Gosh, these guys have evolved.
I think you were talking about these guys once before.
Yep. So this album is a trip from cover to content. The lead singer used to be the drummer, and he's still the lead vocalist, but they also have a bass player who is named Reba, who's a secondary vocalist. So the whole album has a very dynamic feel. She'll sing some songs, and he'll sing some songs, and they have a spot with Billy Corgan. Take Flight, I think it is.
Marion would like that. She likes Billy Corgan, doesn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Nice.
Yeah, they were in my number 2.
Now, you said something about their meticulously designed booklet. Tell me what the booklet is about and why you would say meticulous.
Yeah, so, I mean,
memories.
If I knew we were going to throw vinyls up, I would have brought them. So, you know, me from my last show, I really tried to collect all the vinyls for the top albums of the year.
Sure.
And this was one of those that paid a little bit extra money for
the full version.
The full version with colored eye vinyl and a booklet that was completely inspiring and
now you say colored eye, is like the whole record's an eye, or is it just just the piece?
It's like a white album with an eye sort of in the center.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Yeah, it's really a fun design.
Nice.
But
sorry, cut you off.
No. It's part of the whole picture. The vinyl to the vinyl coat to the booklet inside. It inspired me in my layout design for Obscurious in some areas, how they just sort of built this story in the booklet for the vinyl. It's just one of the coolest things. I think I have a reel of it on my Instagram if you ever were interested.
Instagram. What's your Instagram handle, sir?
Artemis Sere.
There you
all
go.
one word.
There you go.
I have all sorts of fun out there. Yep. And then my number 1,
Tanic's favorite band.
I just love this band. I seriously fell in love with this album. I don't think there's only one song on this album that I don't like. And this is a very divisive band, I think.
Now, how many albums do these guys have now?
4 or 5.
Damn. And I'm just hearing about them now.
Right? Yeah, me too.
I've heard about them for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I had some friends that some in town, like one of the first shows that they ever played in Minnesota.
Okay.
And they've just been ranting and raving about them
ever
since.
And it seems like they've really gained momentum within the last year or two.
For sure. This album has so many it's just masterful. I saw them in September. I've got a ton of video on my YouTube from their songs. So if you want to take an hour and see,
I mean, it's this. I can see how this is really up your alley too, with just the
Yeah.
way the production and the way that it flows as an album. Like, I have a few friends that are very into this album. You being one, and my buddy Matt Wolford's really into this album, and I think maybe 4 or 5 that I can think of off the top of my head are really into this stuff.
Yeah.
And I downloaded it, I listened to it, and I was like, I heard a lot of the influences. I heard a lot of, and it moves around quite a bit.
Yeah.
It didn't stick for me
Yeah.
right away.
Sure.
I went back and downloaded it again because, you know, when you have somebody who's really into it and they say, but did you hear this one song?
Yeah.
And then you're like, but then they point out the little nuances of
Yeah.
what they're doing and how it all comes together. That's really what kind of caught me.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you what song, but it was just like, okay, I'll listen to that again.
There's this YouTuber called the Charismatic Voice.
Yeah.
She's an opera singer that reacts to videos.
Sure.
And she's done Sleep Token, Take Me Back to Eden, the song, and watching that and how she picks apart the pieces of what they do in the song was so amazing, because it really gives you a different level of appreciation for what they do throughout a song. Because you're right, I mean, the songs are so kind of frenetic and they have so many influences from dubstep to metal to death to just basic sort of electronics. It's that you can find just about everything you want within the same song.
Right.
And I think that's maybe why I like it, because
like I said, it kind of touches all the buttons for you.
yeah, like the song "Take Me Back to Eden" is probably 8-10 minutes long.
Sure.
And it goes, through a progression of so many different
There's
styles.
like the last little excerpt of that shit where it goes like really kind of all over, and then it gets kind of funky on the end of it.
Yeah.
I mean,
They do that in almost every song.
Right.
So it's each song has a lot of personality, and the album tells a story. But I think the diversity of it is what I appreciate most. It just reflects who I am. Right? Like, just all these different crazy fucking influences flying at the same time. I can get into it and not get into a rut, because it'll knock me off where I am.
Do you ever watch like musicians playing, just maybe covering songs or doing anything like that? Have you ever just sat down and YouTubed any shit? No. Last night, and Jordan and I talked about this today at work. I stumbled across a drum video series, the Drumeo, right, is what it's called. And
that's the channel.
What caught my eye was, have you seen the Netflix documentary Hired Guns?
I haven't. No.
So they talked to like different musicians who were hired from other, like they were pulled into the band, they were hired to do the job, that type of thing. But they did a kind of a excerpt on the drummer from Billy Joel.
Okay.
And God, what is his name? I can't remember his name. Something DeVito. Liberty DeVito, I think is his name. He played with Billy Joel for 30 years, right? Billy Joel basically kicked him out of the band and just moved on with, he'd been playing with the guy for 30 years. What caught my eye yesterday was that he did a drum cover, and what they do is they try to get the drummer they have on a song that they've never heard before or ever experienced it. And then they play. I've seen them do it a couple different ways. Like they'll play it with the drum track. I think some of the earlier ones.
Yeah. Typically what they do is it's typically a genre that the drummer is not known for.
Familiar with.
Okay.
So, and it's a song that they or hopefully have never heard, and they'll go through like a few songs until they find one that they haven't heard. And they play a track for the drummer that has all the drums removed. So they take the drums out, and he's just hearing
Allows them to
all
interpret
the other
it, yeah.
parts,
Okay.
and then they have them
to react.
play like what they would play for that part. So then at the end, you see a whole take of them, their, how they feel the song would go on drums. And some of them are okay, but there's some that they just really nail them, and it's a completely different vibe, but it fits and flows so well.
I think I picked up on more of like how these drummers will take. Some of them took notes. Some of them were just on feel, but there were a few that just kind of, had a like a tablet or like a piece of paper, and they would just take notes of where the structure was in the song. One run through. There was one guy that started like right away, and he just free flowed through the whole song and made it amazing. But there's like a funk guy playing a Tool Schism. The Billy Joel guy played Deftones.
Okay.
And his interpretation of the Deftones thing, and then after him looking at Abe Cunningham's drumming style and like saying that it was very Bonham influenced, just by ear, him hearing that, I thought it was so fucking cool. I was just like, I was hook, line, and sinker, and I watched like 5 of them last night, and I was just so into it, man. But
cool
to see a guy, the one funk guy. God, what was his name? Sugarfoot. That was the dude. So he's explaining how he goes. His theory on music is like being able to flow in and out of what those other people are doing.
Yeah,
and that's the guy that like listened to a couple seconds of it and then was like, and he was just in it the whole time, man. And it is like, even when he didn't know the changes, it was so like, all right, here we go into this, here we go into that. It was so, I don't know, man. We talked about it earlier today, just how incredible it is. And then what was the drummer cat that you brought up?
God, how do you pronounce his name?
He's been all over like TikTok, and he did like a one-handed Slipknot cover. I don't know. I can't remember what his channel is even.
I hate to admit that I'm not a TikToker.
Really?
Estepario Siberiano.
Oh.
He's from Spain, and he does just these. It's crazy.
How the hell do you
watching him.
spell that?
It's ESTEPARIO.
Wait. EPT. Oh, there it is right there. I got it. I screwed it up enough just to get it.
But
can we watch a video
so
while we're doing it? Can we do that?
Yeah, sure. I think
It's not. I don't know how is that.
just play find the one, then just do like 30 seconds of it.
All right.
And then you'll be fine.
Let me see. What should we do?
Does it show like what his highest rated videos are?
How do I look?
Go to his page.
This one here.
You should subscribe.
I will. Fuck it. He's awesome. Fastest drummer alive.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't watched any of his for.
I mean, one day ago, he has one that's got 257,000 views. You know what I mean?
Wow.
This dude is a freak.
Yeah, just throw on a short.
Yeah.
Throw on a short. Which one should we look at though? There's like a bunch of them.
Just play the middle one there.
This one.
Sure.
Boom shakalaka.
All right. Let me actually turn on see if I can hear it too. We'll play this one. This dude is a freak. It should be there anyway. Hey, dude, he's
This is a challenge created by one of the world's best musicians. His name is Jacob Collier, and he plays it with his 5 fingers. However, I only have 4 limbs, so we will have to work on that. Let's see how this goes.
got 2 sticks in one hand.
Wow. That's crazy.
Each limb's in a different time signature. It's just
ridiculous. This dude will smoke a joint while he's doing one-handed shit.
find that Slipknot one where he's just doing one hand.
Here, we'll try to get this one. Where's that at? One-handed with Slipknot, this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
That's inhuman.
Yeah.
All right, we got a request. What did you hold on? I don't want to play it again. All right, hold on. What did you say, buddy? You said let's see, blinding lights. All right. This one here. Oh, come on. I knew how to get that kid.
Where you going?
Skip the ad. Hit the skip ad.
Hold on tight, buddy.
There we go. That's the single double pedal, huh?
I've been trying to call. I've been on my own for long enough. Maybe you can show me how.
Dude, he's blasted on that.
I'm going through withdrawals. You don't even have to give to.
Gravity blast.
You can turn me on with just a touch, baby. I look around and the city's cold and empty.
I don't want to get in trouble to play the whole fucking thing, but that's
Very cool.
Definitely recommend
Insane,
checking out his
yeah.
stuff. It's just crazy the things that he does.
yeah, very, very cool, man. I dig it. I got to pull up.
Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. Thanks for allowing us to share it. No, it's very cool that they that dude's very talented dude. Very talented dude.
He is.
What
You
else
know,
we
we're
got,
bringing
buddy?
back to talking about React videos, I think, with like Sleep Token really made, you know, the React video really made me appreciate the depth and effort that artists go into their
Right.
work. Even if you don't hear it on the first run, like you said, you know, giving it another chance. You know, I really started to appreciate that album even more. So, yeah, maybe it's that incubating of art.
Sure.
We all do it.
Yeah,
Come back to it.
And, I mean, you know, when it trips the triggers of, you know,
Yep.
all the things
Yep.
that you like to listen to, and that band really does.
Yeah.
You know, for the stuff that you really
And
dig,
and
you know.
the first song I heard of theirs, I haven't had the years of experience with them. I just heard them in January out of a YouTube recommendation. Was a song called Granite, which is a very electronic song.
Mm-hmm.
It's not. It's like more. It's almost more hip hop than it is any
Right.
sort of metal. You know, but it really tells a great story, and the flow of the song is awesome, and the vocals are awesome. And then it just became an addiction, and that was the 2023 addiction. Before that, it was, I think 2022 was Zeal and Ardor. So,
Cool band there too.
oh gosh, man, love that band. So,
What else you got, buddy?
well, I don't know. We've talked about music. We've talked about Alien Inside. We've talked about my art.
Lots of art.
We've talked about lots of art. This has been a artful 2 hours. Of,
Well, they should come and check it out. Saturday, March 23rd, 2024 at the 1106, formerly Artesian Forge, correct?
yes.
In Eau Claire, Wisconsin. We're planning on doing some sort of podcast. We're going to do a little bit of backstory. I really like to get that
Yeah.
across to people that are there
Yeah.
and allow them to go back and take a look at the artwork, while they're there,
Yeah,
enjoying the art. Because
Yeah.
I think that's, that much cooler. Like you said, with the reaction videos and things like that, and putting them, that storyline of what the artist was thinking when they did it, and you know, the branches off of creativity. I mean, obviously, you know, music taps into people that way as well.
Yeah.
And that's how I was drawn to it, is that story of, like, you know, I had a hardship. I had this going on with my,
Yeah.
you know, there was a rebirth. There was something inside of you, you know, maybe it's the alien inside, you know,
Right.
that allows your creativity or pulls it out of you in some way.
Yeah.
Or you're even afraid of it at times. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's,
And
it's,
that's sort of the supporting message, is don't be afraid of it.
yeah.
Embrace
and,
it.
And I hope folks will come and check out the show and enjoy the art and just to socialize with us and have a good time. I think that we've done enough podcasts that I think if people are taking the time to listen to this, come take a trip out to Eau Claire, hang out with us, enjoy it. I think it'll be, you know, uplifting, you know, everything. There's so much cool stuff to look at. There's a cool cafe. They've got drinks there. They've got everything you would want in a small road trip.
Yeah.
Hang out with
And
some
I think
cool
that's what I
cats.
want to impress upon people, is that
Yeah.
it'll be a little bit of a road trip, but it'd be an amazing experience for
Yeah.
you. Not for my art alone, but for all of the artists that are at that collective. It is an amazing group of artists, and it will inspire you if you show up.
And I think, you know,
It will draw out your alien inside just
that's-
by showing
hell
up.
yeah. And I'm gonna try, if we end up doing the podcast or doing some sort of something, I'm either gonna record the curator that we met there.
Yeah,
I really like the
Do an
story.
interview?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
really like to at least have it incorporated with what we're doing at some point.
We'll pull her on live. I think she'd be good live.
Yeah.
You know, we can have her as part of a segment or something.
Yeah.
I want to have that same conversation with her. But
Yeah, it's so cool. She just had, you know, so much information just in the, you know, 20 half hour that
Yep.
we were with her.
Yep.
We were kind of pulling her away from her own little shop.
Yep.
I don't even know. Were there people actually in the shop looking at things when we pulled her away?
There may have been. I mean, she's the only person
Yeah,
there. So she
Other than the cafe
wears,
people.
Right. She wears so many hats. She's
Yeah.
curator. She's running a gift shop. So her name's Trillium. She runs the art gallery at the 1106. She's the one that has given me this great opportunity. And, you know, I want to thank Greg for joining me on this journey.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, and I asked you, I never have had someone, I asked you to be like producer of the show.
Sure.
And, you know, I think you have acted as one and will continue to act as one. And
Well,
our
we'll see.
collaboration,
We'll
I
see.
think this has been inspiring and driving me, you know, like, I don't know if I've had a show like this before, and your integration into this process and helping tell the story.
Well, thanks for allowing me to, dude. You know what I mean? Just being friends with you for so many years and seeing the growth of it all. You know what I mean? I'd like to see kind of where
Thank you.
it's at when
Thank
we get
Yeah,
there,
I
you
mean,
know?
this is our baby. You've got your own sort of side of the visuals and all sorts of production on podcasts and stuff that I think your integration is so helpful and necessary. But just having you along this journey is
Well, I hope
a
people
treasure,
enjoy it,
brother.
man. Thank
It's a
you.
treasure. But this, I also want to say that even though this is in Eau Claire, this is highlighting art in Eau Claire. I do want to have some local events. I hope to have another show this year highlighting my glow in the dark stuff. I've also been talking about a possible pop up of this show locally. Will not be the experience that you could get at the 1106.
Yeah.
So anything that I do here in the Twin Cities will not be like you see at the 1106. The 1106 is going to be a full 360-degree, awesome, inspiring art experience. I don't think I could have that here anywhere.
Dude, you laid it out pretty good, man. When you sent me the screenshot of
Yeah.
what you did, the photo of what you did, it seemed like you had it laid out pretty good.
Thank you.
I know that, you know, you took a video going through there and
Oh gosh, yeah.
laid it out pretty good. But when you sent me the picture, I was holy shit, man! It's like
It's-
you built a dungeon right there.
Right,
It's like-
it's very strategic. I used my dungeon master capabilities.
Dude, it totally, you can tell.
To
Totally
create
tell.
the floor plan and map out the art experience. So this is an involved thing, and I'm excited to be part of it and hope
Me too,
people
brother.
enjoy it.
Me
So,
too. Don't forget to come check it out, man. It's gonna be a blast, and you know, just hang out with some good folks and enjoy some art. And
And
have a good time.
if you want more information about it, follow Artemis Sere on social. Visit my Ceretic Studios website. We're going to be talking about it a lot over the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So there should be no shortage of places to find out more information. Just follow us.
Yeah, once I get back from Arizona, I'm headed out next week, and I'll be back. And I've started talking about booking some more podcasts, so keep that in mind as well. And Jordan's going to join me on some of these too, right? Or most of them, or all of them, or fucking whatever.
Shoot for all of them.
Whatever you want to do.
Shoot for all of them. Let's make this
I appreciate
the
you
Greg
being
and Jordan show again.
Yeah, man. It deserves to be good again.
No, it's not a quality question anyway, because you, my friend, are an amazing host.
Thank you.
You've evolved over the years so well. What you've been doing this? How many years now? 11?
Yeah, 11 or 12 or something.
12,
I mean, well,
something like
on
that.
and off, I would probably say
Yeah.
10 full, I guess. But,
Yeah.
I took a good chunk off.
You have a lot of experience doing this now, and you're a great host.
Well, thank you, man. I
So,
appreciate that.
Jordan is only going to compliment and make this whole experience
Yeah, he's
beautiful
going to
and
badger
better.
me as much as I badger him at work. He's just going to be
Yeah.
like, fucking, you had one job.
It's my sweet revenge.
Yeah, this is the revenge
think so.
platform now.
Yeah, dude, you
Great.
should. There's some situations during the beginning of the podcast where he's like brought in torment for me. You know what I mean? Like the whole Brian thing, and you guys you're like, we're not going to tell you what this is, and then like played this old shitty tune.
Greg's
Lobotomy.
first band, Lobotomy.
Yeah. Good stuff.
I gotta get that song from
No,
Brian.
you shouldn't
Yes.
ever get that
Check
song. from Brian.
check YouTube comments.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It's Adam. Show the video of. Oh, you already did that. That was the drum. He said, "It is so dope to have you back, Mr. Greg, Mr. Artemis. It is always a pleasure to see you and hear you talk, Mr. Jordan. I hope we can play more shows together. Courier was a treat, and it was a great show. Awesome. Thank you, Adam, for joining.
Thank you,
us.
Adam.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks Jordan for coming back, man, and enjoying this with me again, man. It's gonna be a good time. There's a lot of shit to go through. There's so much to catch up on. There's so many other bands out there that I want to get in here and chat with. So look forward to that. Don't forget Saturday, March 24th. In Eau Claire, Wisconsin.
23rd.
23rd. I'm looking at
all right.
24. 2024.
3/23/24.
Son of a bitch. See, there's the.
Hashtag one job.
Yeah, he's gonna get you with
One
that.
job.
We're gonna go out on some more Evernorth. We're gonna play "Nothing to Give." This is the second song on this EP. You could get it on iTunes, so make sure you go check those guys out. They have a show coming up tomorrow. Yeah, at the Amsterdam. Doors are at 6, and the show starts at 7, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's correct.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. So go check it out, and we're going to go out on some Evernorth. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you.
And have
Thanks
a good
for
evening.
listening.
We'll talk to you soon, and don't forget to come to the show. It's going to be a good time.
Come to the show.
Come to the show.
Alien inside. Alien inside. Alien inside.
What did I do now? Now it's not connected. Oh, that's so fucking so. I hate this shit. It's ridiculous. What did I do now? Okay, that's there.
Well, now that I'm back,
Yes.
I can be the technical side.
One job.
Oh my god, it's not connected. Oh yeah, it's one job, and now it's all screwed up. You know what you should do? You should just go listen to this song because I totally screwed this up. So
All right. Envision never.
Ritual man is part